Hey, what's going on, guys? And today we are going to be reviewing Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Now, I swear with this franchise, it's like every movie, it's like every two movies, it's one step forward and two steps back. Like from with the first movie, it's like okay, and then the second movie is like, oh, that's a step forward, but then with Part 3, two steps back. Part 4, a step forward, and then Part 5, two steps back, and then again with 6 with a step forward. And this movie is no exception to the model that the Friday the 13th series has displayed thus far, because this movie is two steps back. When we get an excellent movie, we just get an okay one after. Unfortunately, I don't think the pattern's going to persist too much longer. But maybe I'll be proven wrong next movie. But we're not here to talk about Jason Takes Manhattan. We're here to talk about The New Blood. And The New Blood is about Tina, who has psychokinetic powers, who accidentally kills her dad, but then comes back years later to get over her fears and master her powers at the same spot that she killed her father. Now, that's an interesting premise. It's just basically Carrie versus Jason. Now, this premise is interesting. In this movie, kind of does it right, and it also kind of doesn't. So, with that being said, we'll get into the positives and the negatives. Starting off with the positives, I think Kane Hodder as Jason is fantastic. He nails Jason down with his performance. As Jason, he looks intimidating. This is the best look for Jason. The makeup department done a great job with making him look great. Like Jason's like more decayed in his undead form. It looks so good. Like everything about this look is amazing. Kane Hodder did a great job. He really uplifts this movie quite a bit. If you want to watch this movie, just watch it for Kane Hodder and not anything else. Don't expect anything too interesting to happen. At least you get Kane Hodder as Jason. He does a fantastic job. And my next positive is like the concept is interesting. It definitely is. Someone with psychic powers going up against Jason is an interesting plot to follow. And in the third act, I think they get to that, and the third act is done really well with the concept. But I would kind of wish the whole movie was this concept, and instead of just like the last third of it. But that's here nor there. Alright, that's it with the positives. Let's get into the mixed aspects of the movie. And starting off is that the kills here, they were butchered by the MPAA. Now, I know that it's not the production company's fault or any of the faults of the director, but this movie, like, all the kills are botched except for the one standout one that everyone knows from this movie, which is the sleeping bag kill. And that's a great kill. That really is. But the other kills are just okay to plain up bad. I mean, if you could just somehow get the footage, like, come on. I mean, Arrow Video, anyone, any of those restoration companies that release the 4Ks for these movies, please get the footage somehow, I don't care how, and restore it into the movie. That would make this movie infinitely better with interesting kills, and so we have something interesting to follow. But the kills are just okay to bad, and that's just really unfortunate for this movie and for the viewer itself, because nothing really interesting going on there. So there you go. Alright, now we're going to get into the negatives of the movie. And, you know, other than Tina, there's not really any interesting characters to follow. They're just bad. Like, they're not interesting. They're not memorable enough to warrant them even taking up any space in your head. Like, can you even name anyone other than Tina, other than Jason? Hell, even the therapist. Can you name any other characters besides that? I mean, like, no one stands out. There's nothing here. Like, they're just cannon fodder. And you have to have that in a Friday the 13th movie as cannon fodder, but you also have to have interesting people around it so, like, you're not bored anytime when you're watching it. I mean, like, it was just really boring just going with these characters just, like, through life. They're not even funny. There's nothing. Absolute nothing. Zilch. And the next negative I have for the movie is that there are stretches in this movie where nothing happens. Nothing. It's just boredom. It's just like, it just takes up your time. It's like what they could have cut in the writing room, but I guess they needed all these scenes to stay was because the kills weren't interesting. So, they needed to pad out the runtime of the movie, and that's what it feels like at stretches of time. It's like we're just padding it out. Just pad out the runtime. That's really unfortunate because in the Friday the 13th movie, you need to be engaged with the kills, the characters, and everything. But you're not. This movie just wastes your time sometimes. And that's very, very unfortunate. And my next negative for the movie is that the concept of Carrie versus Jason, that's essentially what it is. We'll just call it what it is not met to the fulfillment of what it could be. Now, like, take Freddy versus Jason. That concept was fulfilled throughout that movie. It had interesting characters, all that. And the battle of Freddy versus Jason was done well. And while the battle of Tina versus Jason was done well, I just felt like we could have gotten more of it throughout the movie. Like, the whole movie, like, half of the movie could have been about this. Or hell, even like 3/4 of the movie could have been about this. But it wasn't. It was just saved for last minute, and we're just stuck waiting to see Tina develop her powers throughout the movie to eventually take on Jason. Eventually. But it's like it could have been done better. Way better than it was. And my next negative is that I think the motivation for Tina being traumatized could have been done better because she's traumatized about killing her father. But her father is abusive. Like, he was a piece of shit. At the beginning of the movie, she runs out scared of him because he was beating her mother. I mean, like, how are we supposed to feel bad for Tina for killing him if he was rightfully so accidentally hit or killed because he was just sitting there abusing his wife? Like, you can't just do that. And at the end of the movie, where it's seemingly like he comes out of the lake and gets like Jason and pulls him down into the lake, and he's like, "Hey, honey, yeah, I fixed it. What do you mean you don't like me?" It's just, why? I mean, like, it very easily written around. Like, you could have said, oh, she got scared of something in the house, and she ran out, and then her dad went to console her, and then she accidentally killed him. Like, that could have been way better, but he was an abusive piece of shit. Like, why? I wouldn't feel bad if someone was beating my mom. I would not feel bad if they died tomorrow. Like, I simply wouldn't. And neither would you, let's be honest. But other than that, this movie is a movie full of interesting ideas, not fully fulfilled, and also butchered by the MPAA, which had a massive, massive impact on what this movie could have been, and really fucked it over with what they made the editors do to it. So all in all, that's going to be it for the review. If I were to give this movie a rating, it would be a 2.75 out of 5. It is not a bad movie. It's an okay movie for what you want. If you want to see Jason versus Carrie, then I guess this is the movie for you. It's okay. Kane Hodder carries this movie hard. Like, if you want to watch it for anything, watch it for Kane Hodder. That's all I got to say. Peace.